Hey everybody, what's going on? So I just wanted to share a video here that the Toronto Sun put out. And it's kind of about Trudeau and his polling numbers and whatnot. So let's just have a look at this video and then we'll break it down after.
The polling numbers just won't get better for Justin Trudeau. Hi, I'm Brian Lilly, political columnist for the Toronto Sun. We've been watching for months now as Justin Trudeau's support among voters has just simply melted away, and it doesn't appear to be coming back. Now, let me give a caveat here. Voters are fickle, things can change. But two polls out just this day, and neither one of them look good for the Prime Minister. The first is from Leger, an esteemed polling firm that found that two-thirds of Canadians they want the Prime Minister gone. They want him to resign. And that's not just among conservative voters. In fact, if I was advising the Conservatives, I'd say keep this guy around. He's just not doing his party any favors. But two-thirds of Canadians say it's time for Trudeau to take a walk in the snow or a surfboard to Tofino or whatever he's going to do and just exit stage left. They want him gone. And the rest of the polling numbers don't any better. An Abacus data poll shows a 16-point gap in the national polling numbers. Check this out. 41% would vote for the Conservatives if an election were held today, compared to 25% for the Liberals. That is an astonishing figure. And then, when you break it down regionally, look at this. You've got the Conservatives with a substantial lead.
So this is interesting. And I saw this Abacus data earlier last night. And there's a couple numbers here that really stick out to me. In BC, which, a lot of the lower mainland is a big supporter in the NDP. And you can see that the NDP has more support than the Liberals do. But the Conservatives in British Columbia, 42%. Alberta, that's not surprising. Saskatchewan, Manitoba, not surprising. Ontario, 44%, which has been a Liberal stronghold since 2015 in the federal elections. And then, of course, you have Atlantic Canada, 45%. Liberals are only leading, and that's slightly in Quebec by 1 point over the Bloc. And the Conservatives are still at 20%. But they're getting hammered in so many other states. It is looking very bad if you're a Liberal supporter or even an NDP supporter, because they're not doing that well in Ontario. They're not doing that well in Alberta. They're not doing that well in the Maritimes. So if you're a conservative right now, you should be pretty happy.
Every region of the country. They're up by 12 points in Atlantic Canada. They're up by 15 points in Ontario. The NDP's in second place in Saskatchewan and Manitoba, but the Trudeau Liberals are barely in double digits in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Alberta. And out in British Columbia, it is a 20-point lead over the Liberals, with the NDP in second. Only in Quebec are the Liberals still competitive, and they're virtually tied with Quebec, with the Bloc Québécois, and the Conservatives are coming up the rear. They're at 20%. That would mean more seats than they have now in La Belle-Provence. So nothing is looking good for Justin Trudeau. The man was harassed out of a restaurant in Vancouver earlier this week. He was being denounced everywhere he goes. He's being protested not just by the far-right convoy types, but by the far left, by middle-of-the-road people. They're just...
He is getting screamed at everywhere he goes. I don't know if you guys seen any video, but that they just showed a little bit of it there. But he was in a restaurant in BC, and he was trying to meet people and shake some hands, and there were people just screaming at him. A lot of people he approached were a little bit more polite about it, where they just said, "Hey, not going to shake your hand. No, I don't want to take a picture with you." Nobody likes this guy anymore.
Simply done with him. The question left is, does he understand this?
No.
And will he actually leave?
No.
Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below. Share this on social media. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
So that's it for that video. And, just to answer his question, do I think he'll leave and do I think he's aware of this? No and no. I don't think he's going to resign because he knows it's going to be a conservative onslaught. I think in his head, he thinks that, well, I got till 2025. I can repair it. I can repair the trust in the people. I can repair the economy. I can stop inflation. I can do all these things to convince people that I'm going to tax them even more and they're going to like it. Listen, he must be some sort of a narcissist, because if he really thinks these things, which I do believe he thinks, he probably thinks everything's gonna be fine and that people will like him again. But I mean, he's clearly a moron. I mean, he is in the last couple of years. It has just been it's just started here and then just crashed all the way down. And I don't think he gets it. I don't think he'll resign, and I don't think he'll call for an election. He should resign. He should call for an election, because clearly Canadians are unhappy, and we deserve to have a change if we want one. Now, again, it is stupid that it's even up to him to call an election, or for Jagmeet Singh to have a vote of non-confidence. I think that when you have an approval rating that drops, say, well, what's it? What his approval rating, I think, was like 19%. Once it drops below 25, because you even when you win, you're probably not going to get more than 40% of the vote. Although it looks like the Conservatives might in the next coming election. But I think Trudeau only got like 32% of the vote in the last election. So it's never gonna. You can't just say, oh, if it drops below 50, because he didn't get 50 in the first place. But if it drops below 25%, I think that that should trigger an automatic vote of non-confidence by the people, not by Parliament, by us. We decide if we want another election or not, and we should have that choice, and we don't. And our government and the NDP coalition could essentially hold us hostage for another year and a half, or almost 2 years rather. And it's ridiculous. What's the state of Canada going to be in those next 2 years? It's already not good. How much worse can it get? And then what happens if it does get worse? So we got to just wait 2 years, and Pierre Poilievre gets in, and it's going to take him another year or two just to even make a dent in the damages. We could be starting to suffer for a long time here, especially if you're in the middle class, the working class like myself. How long is it going to take to repair what's done? Well, hopefully not too long, but I don't know. Hopefully you guys have more optimism than I do. Definitely let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you think Justin Trudeau is going to resign? Do you think that he'll call an election? Do you think NDP will call a vote of non-confidence? And do you agree with me? Do you think that when the approval rating drops below a certain amount, do you think that that should automatically trigger a vote of non-confidence by us, the people? Let me know what you think in the comment section. I love hearing what you guys have to say. And thank you very much for watching. And I'll be back shortly with another video.